very fine.
There me say young na 11:20.
May I sure say baby Alexander Seferin, the president of UEFA, and the UEFA Executive Council, and your more competition committees, you know, it will be no. And when before they slept, they will tell themselves, look, this format is the best. And they are convincing and say, he introduced into European club football. No? He has done a very, very good job. And people were expecting drama. And we never do so. We were so overwhelmed by the drama of the football. And that is why we love football. And Mekai watching the competition na DSTV before Eddie Omo Bliss channel no I Matchday center channel. It's Omo predominantly the Napoli Chelsea game, but they are giving updates from more about games and results and go be about they switch to South venue for you to watch the game. It was so exciting. And in your full package of Champions League football. Now, one thing UEFA force na format we edebe bano. The opportunity for relatively smaller and middle table clubs to also have the opportunity to compete well our Champions League in. And I think the purpose with which this format we buy, and also so come. Now, this is the final group stage table. And as you know, only the top 8 and then just straight qualification. Then from 9 to 24 will engage in playoffs. Now, idea money exciting and he said, you first forget about the first 8 normal qualifier. No? Since you will play off Nimono, there are some big names, which means before we watch even around 16 of the Champions League, we are going to watch an elimination playoff. And also promises to be very, very exciting because there are clubs like Real Madrid, defending champions Paris Saint-Germain. Last year, finalists Inter Milan. Diego Simeone and the Atletico Ewoho. Dortmund has been making finals now saying also Ewohobi. You're buying all for Leverkusen and the Newcastle Beba, Atlanta Ewoho, Galatasaray, Victor Osimhen Ewomu. So the excitement about this new format and the drama they wanted to introduce into the competition, I think we have full package drama, and I was very, very excited watching Enra games now. Of course, Now, how did we get here? Enra stories, what are the big ones we can share? I think it is very, very respectful. Say the first one will be the perfect score of Arsenal. 8 games, 8 wins. Perfect score of Arsenal. And I'm going to say, oh, man, Arsenal. They say, they will beat cards for them. They will beat them. And they did it very, very well. I'm from to say, I'm going to a competition. And Arsenal did the job. The only caveat, and I say, Arsenal don't have to look far to know, say, even though on my ball, perfect score in the group stage, I was still more money down going into an account. They don't have to go far. Last year by this time, it was Liverpool. But they were booted out in a run of 16. And the fact that when we are first, now one perfect score doesn't make you the champions. And the examples they can look at just around England to know, say, I also almost but in paper here Arsenal perfect score no very very commendable for Mikel Arteta any team no. And now the Spotify company I think say game no any results APM no it trying for each day the Barcelona team we see today they can't stop conceding. And only another game we come one. Barcelona has conceded in 11 consecutively in the Champions League.
Game be conceded.
Yes, 11. Including very, very cheap opponents. Still, what the ball to Barcelona to them. And see, me also say that the community as a flake money, President Laporta Mushia, they know say they have a very, very good team that can go all out to the semi-finals of the Champions League game. But this time around, our biggest problem is our defense now. And that's how to prevent conceding goals. Now, in the knockout stages, they are decided by small details. And mostly, they are decided by your defensive fortitude. That's at least hard. And it's about so many Champions League this season. There is one big problem they have to solve. And yes, they can't win the Champions League. But beyond Barca conceding, they are able to score goals too. And that is very, very good for Tima, your friend Barcelona. So they had to respond. Lewandowski, Eteka, Emma, Barcelona. I believe the goal that Lewandowski share, was created by these two players, especially Daniel almost 2 pass now or the man Nhyira set up Lewandowski then Rafinha came in with some penalty and again se Ushe Barca game ni bia penalty ni beto no Rafinha chemo no the man Nhyira na referee VAR checks and about the kutano referee so okay after checks in every babo penalty then Nhyira went back to Rafinha and the ball on shared in some and Rafinha a ball penalty and so eto at them. Then Nhyira had to score a goal of his own. Yes, it was deflected but the goal was given to him. And Marcus Rashford and so Eddie free kick making sure Barcelona were home and dry 4-1 and they've qualified into the top 8. Mission complete. That is what Barcelona wanted. So we went into the top 8. Our money play of Biabo and Omu Etini Archivis. Then came the Chelsea game. Game when it started here. I think for any away game, your biggest question was, hey, Malo Gusto, Reece James, I'm going to game now. But they are not, and yes, one at right back, one at right wing. They are all playing in a defensive role. And Tibian and Liam, coach the person or trying. Chelsea started very, very well. Then came the 19th minute, penalty, Enzo Fernandez, and Bosche. But I think after Chelsea say Omu penalty, they were still tactically trying to adjust. And the man Napoli back game never say 2 goals. Vergara and Rasmus Holland. At 2-1, Napoli thought they could at least steal a draw. Our game with him. But only on the biggest stages, which game no stretch him one baby to happen. You bring in your game changers.
And at Chelsea.
Yes. And I think before João Pedro, I be affecting game number Chelsea we Liam look at his notes, consult, and also no. There is one guy sitting on the bench. And that guy is the most decisive player in our team. Baby we need him. He brought Kopama in and look at his effects. 61st minute, assist João Pedro. 82nd minute, assist João Pedro. That is how these games are won. And Chelsea makes sure number 10, the most influential player and the game changer came from the bench. And Obeye Jumano and the manager senior na manager agiri say odini ba mu no ombeye adwuma no emfa emma no. Now the moment Chelsea had the win, then came this chat. Say in big games in the last 7 months, Chelsea has beaten any champion we had in the BBA. They did it to Paris Saint-Germain. They did it to the defending champions of the Premier League. They did it to Barcelona, and now they've done it to the champions of Italy in Tima, your friend Napoli.
But how you buying the free money?
Because they didn't win. So no man share. So it can be added.
And I mentioned say as a Chelsea for no champion the issue be but I'm not buying the no so.
I'm so be
I'm champion be I know pa kwa nka so ante
and you be
champion be obi as be am fan bra.
In the last 7 months they've beaten these champions.
Then
it's not as if this obi so be
no
they beat these champions, and it is very very good for the Chelsea team. Anya require rich. If you decide to add Bayern, it will be 5 games. If they get 4 out of 5, that is very very good for Chelsea team, you know. And do you know, say, and Chelsea qualification, you know, Ama and in English football contest, Rich, Oma qualified to the round of 16 in the Champions League than any English club. Even Liverpool now won a lot of trophies in the Champions League. Our English soil, they've made it to the round of 16 more than Chelsea in the competition. 18 times. And at Chelsea, ISR, 17 for Arsenal, 13 for Liverpool, 12 for Manchester United, and a 12 for Tima, your friend of Manchester City. Look, the whole graphic, I became sad. Manchester United. In the last few years, no man could cry because Manchester United, but that is where they find themselves.
Carry ball in the beba. Carry the beba. Oh, next year. I don't want to deviate into a carry conversation because we saw this and even more from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer into Udayem Kuyenim. Now, my most disappointing team. Ayala let go. Samu. So Bodo for Omuche goes. Bodo for Omuche goes in your problem.
Rich. Bodo can beat Man City. Our Norway. But for them to come all the way to Spain, Wanda Metropolitano, Alexander Soloff as a first goal for ATM. No, Martina Homa. Bodo, Abetika Shaoma. If Bodo can score, can't Atletico to score? I will feel. Now, I don't know. Atletico team, or what time are they going to see me?
Maybe a question of Musano.
Because there are some scorers.
Or a coach,
and for the way any controversy, me discussion, members here, Pamu coach, at Atletico, you don't hear it. And Rich, maybe I'm a cow say he is the highest paid coach in the world. How can we pay you the highest? But there's no pressure.
The top players the amount.
And for all my Bodo story, Rich, what do you say, Bodo? I'm only in the best team in the summer. And in Pepe, I can say, they're in preseason. So, we say Man City money, it's all league matches. They are in preseason. Now, you look at these pictures, and it gives you goosebumps. Rich. And in the dressing room, this guy on the support table, they can't believe what they've been able to achieve. And their supporters were right there with them. And this woman had to cry because the story is unbelievable what they've been able to do. No? And I think and may I be disappointed in Paris Saint-Germain. But I think I was more impressed with Newcastle. And it was very good. They were tactically very disciplined. And Nyamwanga said they were able to get a draw now. You can be disappointed in Paris Saint-Germain for not winning against Newcastle at the Parc des Princes. But to be very, very fair, I think it has more to do with the way a Newcastle for a ball no game how they carried out on instructions, you know, and the more famous 1-1 draw if the pack the prince. Now I think this will be the last game I ever share. Look, senior Barca Copenhagen. A term for you about the state of the Barcelona team. I think Benfica, Real Madrid is also my info about the state of the Real Madrid team. It is only one story. Kylian Mbappe. So we need a free team anymore. Team is so ordinary. So ordinary. Now, Rich, this year in the Champions League, Kylian has 13 goals. And the league followed by Harry Kane 8, Erling Haaland 7. Now, the 13 goals now, I represent 58% of Real Madrid goals in the Champions League. More than half. How can you play like that? So dependent on only one player. And even in games, I just said he stepped up and scored 2. You can't win. Yes, you can't win. And you see, and no maybe Alonso, I try to talk to in terms of discipline on the pitch, any decisions take care. Because they are big boys.
And now he's Rodrigo red card yakoji. Unnecessary red card.
Unnecessary. Now Rich, Madrid Kylian Mbappe Beshé. And a team of Benfica Abetika. And Omanya probably this as a penalty account. Then short drop and completely the brace, and also shape him. Now, just as you were discussing, your analysis of Tribune, they had an head as a goalkeeper no SANA. Time in a free kick number 2. The situation that game was that Real Madrid had 2 red cards. So they were playing 9 against 11. Now, out of the 9, Rich, one of the players is a goalkeeper. And the outfield players are all packing so 8. You are under form by 3 goals to 2. In the last action of the game, what is the send your baby referee, Oma action yan to asu Rich. So, where was the coaching in this Madrid defense? Because you can't defend in this position. Vinicius, it's not since you two when we are.
Oh, Chambono.
In that minute, Nana. 5 minutes and also. You have 7 minutes, 13 seconds.
Maybe a bob on man and referee point.
Come on. You don't coach like this.
Now your goalkeeper, baby, I know figure. Unmarked.
Look,
and of course,
more mania free kick. I was still 11 players of park in you are winning 2 red cards now. You still think that you can commit players at that time they able to give. And to check over 2 free kick. Madrid had in the box player can't count because baby was in football wise, he can't continue defending one team Benfica. It's uniform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players only in the box for Real Madrid. You can count as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players, including the goalkeeper. How do you do this? And it was as if the story needed to be written. He made the difference. Got that one crucial goal now. Benfica here to add to more points, and that is the reason why you see Benfica 24th with -2. -2 and then they overwhelm into the run of knockout phase, in the playoff. Now, Rich, pay attention to something you. It gives you everything the drama yesterday. Rich, Prime Video for an analysis of every 10 minutes we are the way on a table it's here from 1 to 12. And it is so exciting to watch the dynamics. Udia, say the bear any prekesi when you know. Concentrate on Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid. Reach 10 minutes into the last games now. Now Paris Saint-Germain are third. Now Real Madrid are fourth. 20 minutes. Now Paris Saint-Germain at Yaba fourth. Now Real Madrid are fifth. Which you do 30th minute, you know. Now Paris Saint-Germain at Yaba fifth. Now Real Madrid are sixth. You do 40th minute, you know. Now Paris Saint-Germain at Yaba. You do 50th minute, you know. Now Paris Saint-Germain at Yaba seventh. Real Madrid was off the radar. Omama Beda ninth. Rich. Yeah, decide. The Madrid will come back into the top 8. Not Omapie. Your boy, you know, they are falling off. And this video gives you a very, very classical view of the Rihanna and Nomeko as and when that games no echo so when they rat top 18 now why appear for top 18 and it's and your man no. It's rich. So say the BBS. These are the seeded teams in the playoff, and these are the unseeded teams. We entiasene nyadi. Entiasene enyadi nkra. What we are going to watch matches between omo ayesidi omo ayensidi omo no, and we will pair them with omo qualifying already into the round of 16. So for instance, Monaco and Caraba, then Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle. They will play. So they will play each other again. Not you one team. Then in the round of 16, they either will play Barcelona or Chelsea. It's the same for all the rest. And who turn it to the other side is so and you bet me ayeno. And so mama in the first 8 years. Omatamu chuku. And omoche omo into the playoff no. And why? And when the Champions League final is being played. Natural for the Ediba Park in so the Ediba and some there are a lot of drama. I did me at the it was so exciting to watch. Okay. And then Europa League games in Intino. You can have these 3 codes. First one is a rollover of 5 O's BW36 DAD9A4 BW36 DAD9A4 for the rollover 5 O's. No. Then a combination of any games with only 2 codes BW36 DA9A98 then BW36 DB11C7. Na and also what to me aye also be Ayala X okwan one follow obenya also kan patutu guys ana yaba program ne so oko Facebook Miss Marcos be hyphen Ayala and answer Ayala Sports and so okwan one follow our Facebook obenya also no ana patutu when I post them even before I be show no say okay WhatsApp channel no and answer Telegram so and also so you can have it early in the morning. Not what me I follow. All the best and the games, you know, sure. In the Europa League. Okay, yeah, drama once a media. Young family and so have